Welcome to the Gamer's Garden, and this is just a quick pickups video to show you what I bought at the latest London gaming market that was last Sunday just near Russell Square in London. It's an excellent event. I recommend that everybody goes, even though it is a bit busy, so don't go with a slight hangover like I did. Okay, let's have a look at the haul. Just to say, I got a couple of memory cards, quite dull but I wanted them for a while. But onto the first game was something I wanted for quite a while, which was Last Bronx for Sega Saturn. And I got the Japanese edition, which I was really pleased with. I've read quite a lot about this game before, and it was AM3's only attempt at a beat 'em up as far as I'm aware. But the great thing about it is that it was very late in the Saturn's life, so it's nigh on a locked 60Hz, and there's even some quite impressive scaling and background effects, which is fantastic. There's motion blurs on the weapons, and it even uses the same high-res mode that Virtua Fighter 2 used. So really, it's a very technically impressive Sega Saturn game. As far as a beat 'em up, it seems a bit slower than Virtua Fighter, and as characters hit the floor, there seems to be a bit of a delay in terms of what you can do and how you can get back up quicker. But actually, this is a fun game that more than anything is just an example of how good the Saturn could look later in its life. So the rest of what I picked up was in fact Dreamcast games, and as soon as I saw Mr. Driller on Dreamcast, I had to get it. Now if you've seen my previous video on my Game Boy Color top 5, then you'll know that I absolutely love the Game Boy Color version of this game, and on Dreamcast it's pretty much the same game, but you have obviously the much larger graphics, the soundtrack is really nice. I don't like listening to that Game Boy Color soundtrack really. And so just those little few improvements make it a bit of a must buy for me. It's Mr. Driller, so some people don't like it and find it too simplistic, but I absolutely love it, and I think on Dreamcast now this will be my favourite version of the game. So next up, it's the Dreamcast port of Unreal Tournament, and this is actually a game I wanted for quite a while because I've got a future video in mind, so you will see this again. Now I played an awful lot of Unreal Tournament when it first came out on PC. And actually this Dreamcast port is pretty close. The only thing I can see is really missing is the assault mode, and I would assume it's because the maps were too large for the Dreamcast to handle. The best thing I think about this at the minute is the control system. It uses a kind of like a GoldenEye style control system that makes it surprisingly easy to play, although there is a lot of verticality in Unreal Tournament, which is still tricky to do using D-pad movements for up and down. But actually, apart from the frame rate chugging along in the open areas, this plays very well, and like I say, we will come back to this in a future episode. Now this game, Millennium Soldier, is something that I hadn't even heard of before. So in an old school way, I picked up the box, read the back, and thought, I want to buy this. Now it's actually pretty cool. It's like a run and gun shooter, very retro, in a sort of Terminator Future War style setting. And the great thing about it is the chunky graphics, there's a very solid frame rate, and I'm really looking forward to playing with 2 players on this, because I imagine it could be just an absolute blast playing with a friend. So this is something that I'm going to put on the shelf, but come back to later. So the last game that I picked up before I left was 18 Wheeler for the Dreamcast, American Pro Trucker, and I'd wanted this for a while. It's by AM2, so I was expecting something pretty much like Crazy Taxi, but actually now, the first time I've ever played it, it's more like Outrun. I hadn't played this in the arcades before, and there's not actually much game there. I did complete a run through in about the first half an hour, but it's fantastic control, I love the graphics, each stage there's something quite exciting going on, so I think repeated playthroughs, you will enjoy it still, and really, it's just one of these last AM2 games that I've never really played, and I'm really glad that I do have it on Dreamcast, not one of the other home consoles. So I'm pretty happy with this as well.
Time is up!
Now the last thing to show you in this pickups video is actually a PlayStation mouse, and now this is something I've wanted for ages. At the minute I'm playing it with the PlayStation 1 version of Quake II. When you plug in the mouse, you get a second set of controls. And basically you hold the left part of the PlayStation controller in your left hand, and the right hand you're using the mouse. So it's kind of like a mouse and keyboard setup, and actually it is a game changer. And it kind of feels like you're playing the game on a very low powered PC from the time. I think this is really interesting. It's something I want to look at a hell of a lot more, so you're going to see some videos on this in the near future. So thanks for watching my pickup video of what I got at the London Gaming Market. It's every 4 months in Russell Square in London, so please go. It's a brilliant event, you really must support it, but don't go with a hangover like I did because the crowds are big. Until the next time guys, happy gaming.